it's Sam. So today we are going to be reviewing and demoing and doing a wear test of the new YSL Touche Eclat All-in-One Glow Fresh Dewy Makeup. This has got natural medium coverage, long-lasting hydration, it is oil-free, and it does have a broad spectrum SPF of 23. I kind of go into a little bit more detailing about what they're claiming the foundation to be doing, also the price, and I also am going to be testing out this concealer. This is the Touche Eclat Radiant Touch Perfecting Pen. So I'm going to be testing out both of these products today. So as you can see, it's in this nice plastic tube. I really like the packaging because it's really comfortable to hold. It's got that really nice kind of touch of two, like the gold cap and then the gold on the top. The color is what you see here, so that's kind of nice as well. And then you have this little gold kind of pump top. So it is a pump top, which I love. It's not glass. You don't have to worry about it breaking. This is really light as well. So if you are going to be traveling with it, it's really awesome. And it looks really pretty as well. So if you just had it on your counter, it would look fancy Nancy. Today, we are basically just going to be doing a wear test. I'm going to demo it, so I'll show me applying it as well as that concealer. And then I also give you a little bit more information right in this next clip. I talk about the benefits, what it claims to do, the price point, how many shades there are. They have sent me every single shade of this foundation. So I'm gonna go ahead and swatch all of these on my arm for you guys right now so that you guys can just see what the shade range is like. They have also sent me all the colors of the concealer. So it looks like B10 is the lightest shade. You do have to give this a little bit of a pump right off the bat. So that is B10. So you can see like that is really nice and light. That's a really good fair color. So B10 is porcelain. It says for very fair to fair skin with neutral to pink undertones. The next color we have is B20. This is ivory. It's for fair to light skin. That's all it says on the website. Oh man, this one I'm having to pump a lot. So some of them you don't have to pump that much, and then some of them it's like, whoa, Nelly, I'm pumping my life away. So this one right here is B20. So you can see that one is just a tiny little bit darker. It's still pretty fair though, so still doing quite well on the fair scale. B30 is described, or it's almond, for light skin with neutral to golden undertones. Yes! Oh! Oh, that exploded everywhere. You naughty little B30. Okay, so B30 you can see is a little bit, it's kind of got a little bit more of a yellow. Yeah, there's just a little bit more of a kind of yellow undertone. Next, we would have the color BR30. This one is a cool almond for light skin with cool to neutral undertones. Now I'm scared because it literally exploded. I'm so glad that I missed my pants because foundation is such a nightmare to get out of clothes. Sorry, that was like the most terrible swatch ever. That one is definitely cooler. You can see there's a little bit more of a kind of pinkier tone, and I will get up close, guys, once I'm all done with these swatches. So then we move on to B40. This is sand for light to medium skin tones with neutral undertones. It's hard when you're not looking at it and you're looking in the mirror because you don't know where your body is. That one definitely still has more of a neutral undertone. Then we're going to move on to BD40. This is the color that I have on today, and this is great if you are someone who self-tans because it does have a little bit of warmth. This is described as warm sand for light to medium skin with neutral to warm undertones. I'm just going to do it this way so that I can actually see what I'm doing, guys. So you can see that one has definitely got a little bit more of that kind of golden, warm, kind of yellowy undertone compared to the other one. So now we're moving on to B50. This is described as honey for medium skin with neutral undertones. So there's the B50. You can see that that one is definitely quite a lot like less warm than that BD40, which is the one that I have on. Now we're going to move on to BD50. So this one is described as warm honey for medium skin with neutral to warm undertones. And these feel so creamy, guys. When you are swatching them, like you can feel how silky smooth and kind of creamy they are. And it does have 70% water, and you can feel that in there. Like they just glide on so silky smoothly. So you can see that's BD50. That definitely has a lot more yellow. Moving on to B60. This is the color Amber. So you can see that one's quite a nice rich color right there. This is described as for medium to tan skin with neutral to golden undertones. So if you were like full on, you know when you go on vacation and you get that really kind of like, almost like a red tan, like when you're in Hawaii, it's kind of like that really kind of just rosy tan, if that makes sense. I feel like this would be a really good color for that because it has that reddish kind of warmth in it. Then we have B70. B70 is mocha for medium deep skin with neutral to warm undertones. That's actually a really beautiful color. Oh my goodness. Okay, moving on to B80. This is called chocolate for deep skin with golden undertones. Okay, so there is B80, or sorry, what was that? Yeah, B80. So you can see it's definitely got a little bit more of a kind of richer tone than that, just a little bit darker. Okay, and then last but not least, we have B90 Ebony. This is for deep skin with neutral undertones. So there's quite a big jump between the B80 and then the B90. Like that's huge. I'd say that's like what, 2 or 3 shades lighter. That's a pretty big jump. Okay, so there you go. There's all the shades. You can see that's the B10, which is really quite light. And then you go all the way up to that really rich B90 Ebony. There's only 3 deep ones compared to the rest are all kind of like, I mean, those are like pretty light. These ones are pretty medium, and then those ones are deeper. So those are all of the shades. But you can see the formula. I don't know if you guys can tell, but like look how like it's so creamy and just like really a silky, nice formula. It doesn't like dry and get all like cakey and dry looking. Like it's just so beautiful. So those are the swatches of the actual foundation. Okay, then we have 10 shades of the concealer. One is quite light and it definitely has a pink tone to it, quite brightening. So one is described as a luminous radiance for fair to light complexion with pink undertones. 1.5 is described as radiant silk for light to medium complexions with yellow or golden undertones. So wow, you can really see the difference in the tones between in the concealers. Like that one is definitely way more yellow. Hello, I'm over here. And then that one is definitely a lot more pink. Next we have shade 2, which is the one that I am actually wearing today. 2 is described as a luminous ivory for fair to light complexions with yellow undertones. And this one you'll be able to see is like basically like those two mixed together. 2.5 is luminous vanilla for light to medium complexions with warm undertones. So that one's actually pretty close to the 2. They're not super different, but you can see that there's definitely a little bit more of a kind of like golden kind of peachy tone to that one. 3 is a light peach for medium complexions with peachy undertones. Oh yeah, this one is definitely peach, and it's definitely got quite a bit more color. So you do jump up quite a bit between the 2.5 and then the 3. That's like a good at least shade and a half darker, and it is really peach. So that one actually might be quite nice to put down first if you are lighter, just to kind of disguise that the dark circles. I can't talk. the dark. And then follow up, like if you are my shade, go with that 2 on top for the brightening. Then we have 3.5, which is called Luminous Almond for medium complexions with warm undertones. So that one is just like a really nice like neutral concealer. You can see the peach is quite a bit darker. So the peach one is really peachy. It's like almost more, a lot more correcting. Oh, it just goes right up to 4.5. They skipped 4, that's weird. So then we have Luminous Sand 4.5 for medium complexions with pink undertones. So there is 4.5. That one to me is not really looking very pinky. It's just kind of looking a little bit more like neutral. 5 is a Luminous Honey for medium complexions with olive and golden undertones. There's quite a big jump from 4.5 to 5. You can see that that's quite a bit deeper. And it's definitely got that kind of like warm peachiness to it, but definitely quite a bit darker. So keep that in mind. If you're like, oh, I'll just go 4.5 or 5, there's a big jump there. Then we have 5.5, which is Luminous Praline. Oh, that makes me want ice cream. So 5.5 is definitely quite a bit lighter than the 5. You can see it kind of goes back over to the 4.5 shade, like very similar. Actually 4.5 and 5.5 are so darn close. And then last we have 6.5, which is Luminous Toffee. That makes me want ice cream too. Okay, so then that one is definitely a huge jump as well. So I don't know, it's kind of like weird because you think, oh, they're gonna be super close, but they're really not. They're not like a step up from each other. It's just kind of like, I guess those are just the colors, but you can see that one is really pink. That one is a really nice, it is like a very toffee color. Those two ones right there are quite peachy. So you can see there's the kind of range. It is a little bit more random. I wouldn't say that like if you're thinking, oh, okay, I'll just get 5.5 because that's a slight bit different. Like they're very different. So those are ones that I think are gonna be a little trickier to kind of like buy online. Like you might have to go into the store and actually swatch them. Not that many dark colors though. Like you really, if you're a deeper skin tone, you really just only have this option. After the demo, you'll see me come back with my full on face done. And then I'm just gonna come back probably 2 or 3 times throughout the day and the evening to check up and see how this foundation is wearing on my oily skin. So in case you're new to my channel and you don't know my skin type, I'm super duper oily. It's not even combination, it's like oily all over. My cheeks get oily as well. I have acne prone skin, I have melasma. I'm also like aging as well, so I do have like some fine lines and wrinkles around this area, and then of course underneath my eyes. And I do have a lot of texture, I have a lot of scarring, I do have a lot of like discoloration. So there you go, now you know exactly like what my skin type is so that you can compare it to what your skin type is. I hope you guys enjoy this, I hope you find it helpful. If you do, after you're done watching this of course, give me a thumbs up, I would really appreciate it, that would be so helpful. Also don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. If you are new to my channel, I would really appreciate that as well. And then don't forget to click that notification bell so that you can be notified every single time that I upload, because YouTube is making it quite difficult for our videos to be seen. So if you guys click that notification bell, every time that I upload, you will be notified, which would be wonderful. So thank you guys so much for that. I'll see you guys later on this afternoon and we'll do a little checkup and see how this is wearing on my face. Okie doke, my friends. So I have my face is freshly cleaned, moisturized, and I have my sunscreen on. I'm just going to tell you a little bit about the foundation before we get started, just so that I know like what to be looking for as I'm applying it. So this is $48, 12 shades. BD40, the color that I am currently using, is described as warm sand for light to medium skin tones with neutral to warm undertones. It's a medium coverage. It's supposed to be for all skin types. The finish is radiant. It has an SPF of 23, which is a little bit of a random number, but it's better than SPF 15. I mean, it's still a little bit extra, so that's nice. It says that it's a skin-loving, all-in-one tinted moisturizer that evens complexion, eliminates dullness, and smooths fine lines with oil-free skincare ingredients and a natural luminous finish. So this is definitely not a full coverage foundation if that's what you're looking for. It's supposed to be more of a lightweight kind of tinted moisturizer, medium coverage versus like an actual foundation. It's got 70% water, hyaluronic acid, vitamin E, and antioxidants. It's clinically shown to provide rich hydration and improve the look of skin texture while creating a naturally shine-free, luminous complexion. It's your skin, but better. The breakthrough texture is incredibly light, so skin feels fresh and comfortable all day. Finally, the coverage is buildable from light to medium. It's the ultimate multitasking partner for flawless looking, natural glowing skin. It is oil-free, it's non-comedogenic, talc-free, and dermatologist tested. It says for a lighter coverage, pump a dime-size amount onto the back of your hand, then swipe along your cheeks, forehead, and nose. For a higher coverage, squeeze 2 drops onto a paddle brush. Or you can use a blending sponge for buildable coverage. So it is showing that you can use it all 3 ways. I have actually played with this a little bit, so this is not my absolute first impressions. I used it once with a beauty blender and I got a pretty good coverage. And then I've also been using it just as like on the days that I don't wear makeup, I have been using it just to like kind of give me a little bit of coverage. But like I haven't been wearing anything else and I've been applying it with my fingers, and it's really awesome that way. On the days that I'm like, yeah, well, I just kind of want to test it out, have a little bit of extra sunscreen and just have a little bit of extra coverage, it is really nice. I think this is going to be something that I would absolutely love to wear during the summer. If I don't want as much coverage, my skin has been looking better, so I don't have to pile it on anymore. But like this is a great beach foundation, guys, because it sits really nicely on the skin. It doesn't look like you need to wear concealer and powder and blush. Like it's very like natural looking, but it just gives you a nice coverage. So I'm gonna go ahead and just squirt some on the back of my hand. As you can see, it's quite a thick texture. It's not super runny or anything like that. I'm gonna go ahead and use my SL Miss Glam sponge. The smell of this, guys, is so amazing. It kind of smells like cucumber. Super refreshing cucumber water. Just, it reminds me of summer. Like, it's really a lovely scent. It's not overwhelming to where you're like, holy moly, that's strong. I can sniff my face all day. Like, it's quite a subtle, but you can definitely smell it, but it's really, really nice. You can see as I'm applying it, it's definitely not giving me like a full coverage at all. If you are someone who is really self-conscious of your skin, you have a lot to cover, maybe you have a lot of acne, or you do have a lot of like pigmentation or breakouts or scarring or redness, this is definitely not going to be, it's not going to cover a whole lot. This is definitely more of like a evening out the skin and kind of just giving it an all over color so that you match everywhere versus like actual coverage. But like for me, I do have a little breakout right here right now, and it's kind of just like disguised it. It's camouflaged it really nicely. It's definitely not something that I could wear when my skin was like really broken out. Like, this is a foundation that I would have hated because I would have been like, ah, you can still see all of my boo-boos coming through. But because my skin's so dilly dang nice right now for me, I'm actually just really thinking that this foundation is quite delightful. So that is one layer, and you guys saw how much I applied to my face. Now you can see that it still looks like skin, like it still looks like I just don't actually have any makeup on. Like, it just looks very natural. It has a really gorgeous radiance to it. It's definitely dewy. I've worn it alone where I don't powder it out at all, and after a minute it sets and then you don't look quite as shiny, because right now it is a little shiny. Also, as you can see, it's blended out really nicely onto my neck. So if you are a self tanner, I currently have Bondi Sands on right now, ultra dark. I would definitely recommend the BD40 because that has that warmth. So it did end up, it looked really yellow in here, but it ended up looking like it's the exact color of my skin at the moment. Let's go ahead and build up just a tiny bit on my chin just for you guys to see like if we can get a little bit more coverage just on this area that I do have a little breakout right now. I mean, it's not, honestly, it's not the most buildable in the world. Like, if you just want a little bit of extra coverage, but it's definitely not going to give you like a full coverage. There's no way, like, you cannot build it up to full. I would definitely say if you want more of just a sheer kind of like literally tinted moisturizer, then apply it with your fingers. That way it's really easy. You can just quickly slap it on. If you do want it to be more like a medium coverage foundation, then I would definitely use the sponge. But this is my face right now, with just one coat and then a tiny little bit right there extra on that pimple that I have. So I'm gonna take two. This is the Yves Saint Laurent Touche Eclat Radiant Touch Concealer. Now you guys know, if you watch my videos, I recently just spoke about these and said how like this was the first concealer that I ever bought. I did it on duty free on the plane on my way moving from England to America. So I was like 14. Well, actually I just turned 15. I thought I was like so awesome. Like, literally, that was like, I wore it every day. I was like, yes, I'm wearing Yves Saint Laurent concealer. I'm like, so cool. It was like the one thing that like made me happy at that period of my life, because my mom had just passed away. I was like so depressed. That I will always have like that little connection to. I have found since like trying it as an adult now, the coverage is definitely not quite as much coverage as I normally like. It's definitely more of a lightweight kind of brightener. If you have super dark under eyes, I wouldn't use it because it definitely is quite lightweight coverage, but you'll see it just adds like a really natural kind of brightness and radiance to the skin. So it is great to pair along with this. Like, I feel like if you are still trying to get that really fresh faced, like not super full coverage, like not super glammed out foundation, but you still want to have foundation and concealer, like this is a really good pairing because it's still keeping that very natural under eye finish. Like, you've brightened up a little bit, but it's not like a major like coverage concealer. So you guys can see like there's not a whole lot of coverage. Like, that really didn't do very much at all, other than just kind of brighten a little bit. But if you're looking, like if you need something to cover dark circles, this is not going to be the concealer for you. It's definitely going to just be something that if you want to have a really natural looking skin day and you don't want it to look like you have concealer on, then it would be something that would work for you. or if you just don't have that bad of under eyes and you want to keep it really just like youthful under there. It's quite hydrating formula, so it does look really good. So the foundation is 48 and you get what? 1 ounce. The concealer Radiance Perfecting Pen is $38, 0.08 ounces. So I am just gonna add a little tiny bit more just of like my regular concealer, just kind of like right in that inner corner, just because honestly, I'm just looking a little tired right there. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and finish off the rest of my makeup, and then I will come back and I'll show you like the finished result. I'm using my NARS, my Ben Nye Super White, and then my Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Compact. And then for bronzer, I have been still loving my NARS Laguna. And then for blush, I've been switching back and forth because these new blushes from Wet n Wild, which are so affordable, are amazing. These baked blush, this is Don't Flutter Yourself, really super glowy, so I'll probably end up using that. I might put a little bit of this as the base. This is just my Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit Volume 3, and I use this color right down here. And then as my highlight, this is the Holographic, Master Holographic by Face Studio Prismatic Highlighter in 050 from Maybelline. Super cheap. So that's everything that I'm going to be finishing off my face with, but as you can see, as of right now, like I could just let this set and put some sunglasses on, put a little lip gloss, and go to the beach, and I would be totally fine. Okie dokie, guys. So all of my makeup is finished. Everything blended out really nicely. The only thing that I would say that I was like, oh man, is my concealer underneath my eyes. I just wish I had a little bit more coverage because all of my little like freckles and like this delicious little dark spot right here is kind of peeking through a little bit. I just didn't feel quite as finished. Even though I still added that little bit in the corner, I probably just should have added it all because I just felt like my under eye, there was just a little bit more skin peeking through that I would like, but it totally, everything blended out fine. The powders went on fine, my white powder went on fine. The blushes, the contour, everything blended out really nicely. So I'm very happy with the way that everything went on. This is my face. Do you ever say things and just think what an idiot you are? That's me 100% of the time. So I don't know if you guys can tell this, but do you see this glow that I have just naturally beaming through anyway? I have put, what, 2 layers of powder on my forehead, and that's what I think is so pretty about this foundation. Even though you powder, it like mattifies you in a good way, but then you still have this glow coming through to where it doesn't look like you are like full coverage made up. Like I still feel like my face still looks really glowy and really radiant and really young, even though I did my normal routine that I usually do with like all of my powders and all that kind of stuff. It just has this like natural glow that wants to just beam through, but then when you touch it, it doesn't feel greasy or dewy at all. Like it just, I don't know what it is, but it just gives you this glow. It's like a glow from within finish. Now obviously I have highlighter here, so that's why that's super glowy, but like even on the chin, like it's matte right now, but there's still kind of like that lightness, kind of like radiance to it, and that's what I think is so pretty about this foundation. Also, I will say my under eyes look really fresh and really smooth. You can see a couple of the little freckles on my nose, which does make it look like very summer appropriate, very kind of lightweight, like just not super like full on glam, like full coveraged up, which is nice because, you know, sometimes, especially if you do have like really cute freckles, this would be a great foundation to wear if you still want to have those freckles peeking through. It matches my neck really super duper well, which is awesome. So far, I'm not seeing any settling into my lines over here, which is really, this one's like way bigger than this one. And it's weird because when I smile, I've noticed that like this is the one that comes up more. Ding, like just on one side. So it's not settling into that line just yet, which is nice. The forehead looks really good. I just love the radiance that it gives you. Like even though I have powder on and I'm matte, like to feel, it just, I still feel like I look very radiant and very glowy and just kind of like more youthful. So I really like this. So far I'm really happy with it. I think it applied nicely. Oh, that's another thing. It does blend out really easily. Like it's not a sticky or tacky formula, so you don't have to work really quickly, which is always nice that you can just kind of like diddle daddle if you want to. It is currently 9:40 in the morning. I'm gonna come back probably around maybe 1. I'm gonna come back after lunch. and we're just gonna check up and see how it's doing. But so far I'm loving it. Like, I just really love the way it looks. Also, I'm just gonna quickly give you like my go-to lip combo at the moment for like the perfect pinky nude. I'm in love with this. I can't stop wearing it. I literally wear it every day. This is the Buxom Hush Hush Plump Liner. I put that all over my lips. Then in the center, I go with the Buxom Plush Liner, or sorry, Plump Line Lip Liner in White Russian. So I mix that like kind of like in the center. And then on top, I'm obsessed with these lip glosses from Wet n Wild, guys. This is called Fly Gal. There's also a peachy one, which I keep in my bag. They're both really gorgeous. This is what I usually start off the day with every morning. And it's just like this really pretty pink, but the combo together is so beautiful. On the eyes, just in case anyone asks, because this happens and then I always forget what I have, I'm wearing the Smashbox and Vlada Cover Shop Metal Petal eyeshadow palette. I just have this color in the crease and on the bottom. And then with my finger, I literally just take this and I put it on the lid to add a little bit of sparkle. And in the inner corner, I take this Rude Cosmetics Angel Glow palette and I take this white color right here with MAC Fix Plus. I'll see you guys back after lunchtime and I'll get up real close so you guys can see everything. Cheeks, the nose. So there we go. I'll see you in a bit. Okie dokie, so I am back. It's a little bit after 1. Got a little distracted. It is 2:24. So it has now been on for 9:40, 10:40, 11:40, 12:40, 1:40, almost 5 hours. I have not touched up my face. I have not looked in the mirror. I've just been working on my computer today, so I have no idea what my face looks like. I have had a watery eye today, which I don't know why that's going on. So my makeup on this side is looking a bit mangled because it's just been dripping all day long. I am definitely seeing quite a bit of oil on my forehead. It's not terrible though. Like, it doesn't look super like thick oil or like Vaseline or like, oh my gosh, she's so greasy. It definitely has a dew to it for sure. I mean, it's definitely oily. And then I'm seeing just a tiny little bit there and a tiny little bit there, if you guys can see as I move my face. The chin's actually looking really good. I mean, I see a little bit of oil right here. My cheeks are fine. Nothing has moved into my fine lines or wrinkles around here. Nothing has gathered or gotten all weird. Yeah, everything is exactly the same that it was when I left it. It's just a little bit oilier. So I think what I'm gonna do is just kind of absorb any of that oil into my sponge on the clean side. Okay, yeah, so that kind of just absorbed that extra oil, but I still have a really nice radiance to my skin. I'm actually really impressed. After 5 hours for like such a medium coverage, oh, there it goes again, radiant foundation for me with oily skin. Like, I'm actually so surprised that it looks this good after not touching it at all. Like, even when I get up close, it looks really, really nice. Even around the nose, it's not bad at all. I mean, I'm seeing a little bit of like something going on right there, but that is looking good. Let me get up close for you guys so you can see. There's the forehead. There's the cheek. Do you see what I mean about the nose? Just a tiny bit, but honestly, I think that probably happens with my normal foundation. It's just a little tiny bit, but when you have your face like this, you can't see. And then that is the chin. So I'm actually really impressed. This is looking great. Hooray! I love it. I look so radiant still, but like everything has stayed in place. Oh my gosh, this eye. It's like gets all crusty and then it hurts. Like, you know when you get sleep in your eye and it's like you're trying to peel it away. It's like salt in my eye. It's horrible. As of right now, oh, we have American Idol to watch tonight. I'm so excited. We have been so into it this season. I love the judges. I'm obsessed with Luke Bryan. He's so cute. And I think they're just so fun together. But anyway, so I'm gonna be watching American Idol. So I'll come back before we watch American Idol, and then I'll come back after we watch American Idol, and I'll let you guys know my thoughts. But so far, I'm actually really happy. Oh my gosh, my eye is burning now. So thumbs up so far. We shall see what it does towards the end of the night though. But okay, it is now 5:39, so I'm gonna be doing another check-in. So it has now been on for 8 hours. So this is a good full days of work wear in a foundation. You guys know I did kind of like blot with my beauty blender at whatever time it was when I came back before. It was at about 5 hours. So I did kind of get some of that extra oil off. So now that it's been on for 8 hours, again, I have not touched up since that last time that I checked in. So I'm definitely seeing quite a bit of oil on my forehead again. It's definitely looking shiny, but again, it's not like terrible to where it looks really bad. I just look like, I look oily, but it's not like a thick or like the foundation has moved. It just looks oily. It does look like some of the foundation has kind of worn off a little tiny bit right here on the very like, you know, this part of my chin. Kind of started to kind of collect a little bit in this area as well as over here, and then kind of around my nose, just a little tiny bit. The cheeks still look fine. They haven't moved. It hasn't collected anywhere on my forehead or anything. It's really just kind of like right here and then kind of like in this area where I have like texture. So I'm gonna get up nice and close for you guys. So there's the forehead. The under eyes still look great. Like the concealer has done really, really well. It actually looks really smooth under there. Like it looks very lightweight. It does not look cakey or heavy or anything like that. It just looks really smooth. There is around the nose, and then you can see it just collect a little bit, and then it's kind of worn off a little bit right here. But honestly, not bad. Like I had tacos, so my nose was running. So it's kind of worn off where I've like wiped it a little bit. But it's still looking like, I mean, honestly, it's looking pretty darn good for my skin. This looks really nice after 8 hours. I'm still very happy. Again, it is a little bit oily, so I'm just gonna go ahead and take another clean side of the Beauty Blender and just kind of take some of that excess oil again. And I am back to being good. I have a little bit of a radiance. That extra oil is taken off, and I could definitely go on with my day. So if I just went into the bathroom and quickly touched up, I'd be fine again. So I wouldn't feel super self-conscious if I was like out and someone saw me in real life. I'd be like, oh, okay, you know, it's like the end of the day, and like I feel like normal wear and tear on your face is like, it's acceptable because people expect it when you've had your makeup on all day. Around the evening time, it's like you have a little bit of like, okay, it's kind of like settled into your nose crack a little bit or whatever. That's okay. It's when it gets really bad and it like completely slips off or when it's like super duper just like collecting around the areas that like you have texture. That's when I'm like, no, that's not okay. I feel embarrassed. But this to me is honestly pretty fine. Oh, P.S. I'm in my pajamas now. I had to get, you know, let them free and be all delightful and everything. 8 hours in, I'm feeling so happy with this foundation. Congratulations, YSL. So I'll do one final check-in at the end of the night. That will probably be around like maybe 9 o'clock or so, and then we will be finished and I'll see exactly what I think. But honestly, if I can get 8 hours, I'm happy. Like that to me is really good because that's a normal person's work day. So if you start, you know, your day at a normal hour and you get off at a normal hour and your makeup has lasted pretty darn well throughout the day, for me that is really all I'm looking for in a foundation. I don't need it to last 24 hours because no one really wears their makeup for 24 hours. So as long as you can go to work, come home and still look decent, that to me is awesome. So I am very happy with this, but we will see what it looks like by 9 o'clock. But as of now, I think this is a great foundation. I'm really happy with it. So I'll see you guys at my final check-in tonight. Mwah. Bye. It's not gonna focus. There we go, 9:46. It has been on officially for 12 hours. I'm just gonna like try and get in the light here for you guys. It honestly looks so good still. Like I'm oily, yes. There's a little bit of like, I think I've wiped my face a few times and it's come off a little bit. But there we go. Nothing has really moved. Nothing has collected. It hasn't like moved and gone all weird. It basically looks exactly the same as it did at my last checkup at like whatever time that was. I'm just a little bit oilier. Like you can see now that it's kind of moved onto my cheeks a little bit. Like I'm definitely a little oilier than I was, but everything still looks really pretty and nothing has like really gone majorly into the wrinkles. It hasn't like gone all mangled. It did not oxidize. Like it just looks really, really pretty. I'm like for a medium coverage foundation,
to look this good, that has a radiant finish to it on oily skin after a full 12 hours. Like, I'm really happy. I mean, you can see I'm definitely glowy right now. Glowy. I do have some oil, like, you can feel the oil, but it just still doesn't feel like terribly greasy. I've had foundations that have looked and felt way greasier. I just feel like I look really glowy, and I could definitely go give it a pat, but it's just the fact that it doesn't move. Like, it looks really good on the skin, and I just look like healthy and dewy. So I love this foundation. I think it's beautiful. I think it's well worth the money. I think even if you are oily like me, as long as you like just keep an eye on it throughout the day and kind of like maybe just keep like little blotter sheets or whatever in your purse if you're gonna be out all day long, just to give it a blot, like, I think you're gonna love it. If you want full coverage foundation, this is not gonna be a foundation for you. But if you're looking for a really radiant, very skin-like, real just like pretty summer foundation, I think you guys are gonna love this. I'm really, really happy with it. And I feel like I'll definitely be getting a lot of use, whether I'm having a makeup day or a non-makeup day, throughout the whole entire summer with this foundation. I really love it. And I love that it's SPF 23. So thumbs up. YSL did a beautiful job. I'm really, really excited about this foundation. I hope you guys found this helpful, and I'll see you guys in my next video.